So I'm back. I don't know if I might have to re-record all the audio I did for the last video because I may have left the mic muted. Anyway, I'm currently approaching top of drop for TD. TD for YHZ for Halifax. Sorry, my brain's gone to absolute go right now. And we're just doing IAS mode descent, IAS 262 knots, and what I can do is just pull the throttle right back to idle, which is going to start the aircraft into a descent. We'll arm 3,000 feet as our flight altitude. There we go, up 3,000 feet armed. Actually 3,200 really, but we can take 3,000. And I'm just going to see the aircraft just starting a gradual descent, quite a gentle transition into a steepish descent. I just had to get rid of TeamSpeak there just so nobody would start talking whilst I was videoing. And I wouldn't be disturbing anybody else for that matter. That ignition system should be off. Never mind. Anyway guys, so as part of the descent prep we need to do things like seatbelt sign on, because we are going to drop quite steeply with potential for bumps, so the seatbelt sign needs to come on. Fuel heat, we don't really need that, because we both sides actually on anyway. We'll take aerofoil heat, just take captain's pitot heat, anti-fog, anti-ice, engine anti-ice on. That's just going to cause some, it's no ice faults, which is good. That means the anti-ice is functioning. That's all we're going to take. The temperature on the ground is about 41 Fahrenheit. I'll quickly do the conversion for 41 Fahrenheit. 41 Fahrenheit to Celsius. It's going to be pretty close to zero, I'm going to assume. Yeah, it's 5 degrees, as the forecast said. Now, 5 degrees isn't particularly warm. I prefer it to be a bit warmer, but it's just perfect. Okay, and we've got an anti-ice problem. What have I done wrong? Anyway, I'm going to assume that that's okay, but because I don't think this aircraft actually simulates ice accretion. But anyway, yeah, it's just going to be 5 degrees on the ground, which is just perfect for ice accretion, and I'm quite concerned that we've been flying at a high altitude where the outside air temperature is like minus 60 degrees Celsius. Is that Celsius or Fahrenheit? I don't even know. But the total air temperature increases by 20 degrees because we're going so fast. I'm just going to have a quick sneak peek at the chart, and Tetar is at 10 DME. We actually only start descending on the ILS from 2,000 feet at about 5.5 DME. So, I'm just going to have to bump that down to 2,000, and that's going to be straight in approach pretty much, which I'm quite content with. I'm not content with how light we're going to be dropping though. So I'm going to quickly slow us down to 250 knots. And then we can pump some spoiler out. Pumping. Half spoiler, that should be enough. Once we get 250, it'll be no problem, I think. No IS. There we go. IS. 250, not 255. And then I'm just going to switch the speed bug to 250. I think that's just. I'm not even sure what that next sign is, because I thought it was a master caution, but that's not a master caution activation. Actually got the headset on my head in the most ridiculous way possible, just so that I don't have to listen to all the noise. Yeah, it's just warning me the speed brake's out, but we do need the speed brake to get down to 2,000. Alright, that's what the aircraft's done. It's been a clever aircraft, and it's thought, alright, I'll hold 250 knots for him. They'll just pull all the power off and just dive. Okay, approach brief. So, we'll be flying a approach to Halifax, is runway 14 on the ILS. Our decision height on this approach will be 200 feet on the radalt. I'm not quite sure how it's actually minimums is configured through here, isn't it? Okay, anyway, our decision height's 200 feet. 200 feet I'll call either continue or go around. I'll listen for 200 feet from the aircraft.
Landing here. Landing here. Landing here. Landing here.
Landing gear doors come out.
Landing here.
No, then.
Landing here.
For some reason the aircraft
Landing
thinks.
here.
Anyway, we're going to have to deal with that. I'm just going to turn that down a little bit more, so you guys really don't have to listen to that. So it's almost minimal noise in the background.
Landing here.
I wish I could get rid of it, quite frankly. Anyway, our VREF is going to be 130 knots. There's no way for me to configure that at this stage, so yeah, and that's about it really. YHZ is just south of the field, so the lower we get, obviously the quicker we'll be able to drop. I'm just going to confirm. IAS mode. We are actually. There we go. Yeah, it's going to sound a bit steeper now. To be honest, actually, 220 is about the right speed, because we can, if we level off at that, we can. Shut up! How do I cancel GPWS on this thing? Alright, it shut itself up, which I'm okay with. Anyway, but you know, we'll be able to stand on the brakes and just slow her right down. She's not that slick. We've got half spoiler out already, so we just got a full spoiler before we stop pumping flap out. Min clean speed is 210 knots, which is at the stage we'll pump flap 1 out. So yeah. Alright, so drift down to 18,215 knots is what it's recommending we hold, which is we're close enough to that. So just that's pretty much what we're doing now, I think. 218, I can deal with 3 knots faster. I really can. Insufficient fuel. Don't worry, we've got enough fuel. As I made a slight calculation mistake in the fact that I put tons in instead of 5 tons in instead of 5,000 pounds. So realistically, our reserve's 3.8, which is what we'll be landing with. So that's absolutely fine. We did burn a little bit extra fuel because we had to take a detour for a technical reason. Okay, I'm just going to zoom in the map. So we're at 20 miles from Tetar now, and we are dropping like a brick. We really are. Kind of tempted to pump full flap out, full spoiler out, sorry, and just dive. Oh, there we go, 2,000 feet. Okay, if you're really going to be that pedantic about it, 3.5. Let's go final reserve. There we go. That got rid of that warning. Finish ref. Anyway, our approach speed's going to be 129 knots according to the FMC. But I'll hold 130 just to keep everybody happy. Okay, well, it's actually, they do actually recommend to stick a little bit of spoiler out if you've got the engine anti-ice on, because the way the engine anti-ice works is it pumps hot air through the engine, which means it has to idle at a slightly higher RPM, which means you descend a little bit slower overall, apparently. I don't even know anymore. I actually never been to Halifax before, so I'm hoping the scenery's there. I did install it, I promise. It's same add-ons, Halifax. No, you can do like funky stuff in this. Scared himself there. So transition altitude on this approach, it will be 18,000 yet, so we'll be going to local pressure pretty shortly. Air traffic control would normally tell us what pressure to go by. Instead, we don't have air traffic control, so we're just going to press B when we pass 18,000. If it's a lower pressure, that means we're indicating higher than we actually are, which is good, I think. Yeah, it is actually, because we need to be below, we need to be as low as possible. We are about 24 DME now. I'm tempted to fly an S-turn just to kind of get some speed off, because we'll be bombing it down the ILS, and I don't like doing ILSs particularly fast. Oh, I can go vert speed, 2,800, which means we'll pick a bit of speed up, but it's no big deal to pick that bit of speed up. Auto throttle off, fully idle. Okay, transition altitude. Okay, apparently we're still on a QNH of 1013. Alright, we need to exit. Okay, then we'll go into heading select mode and we'll just draw the aircraft right off into that direction. Heading select, there we go. We'll just fly we'll turn a little bit too much, or a little bit aggressively I should say, which should bleed us a lot of the speed off that we want to bleed. March at 19 DME. We will be on an extended final once we do this. But you can see we just need to get down to maybe... Well, we won't be flying Tetar at 3,000, and that's in 7 miles. We're never going to lose 7,000 feet in 7 miles. That's just not going to happen. I can actually... But I will pump out full spoiler now, just to increase the rate we're going down at. That's hydraulics. That's something I can, want to do with retouching. Sorry, not can do with. We want retouching now. 3,200 feet per minute. 3,300. I'll push. Just going to chicane it down. As I say, I'm just going to roll the other way. Seatbelt signs are on. I'm just going to confirm lights are on. This is all on. Technically, if we take the engine anti-ice off, we'll descend quicker, but it's not worth it. We're not in alpha mode. No caution activated there. It's probably just complaining I've got so much spoiler out. Actually, we can set an altitude, but can't I? Just turn the aircraft audio up a little bit for you guys, because I suppose the master caution that the audio noise is just finished, and you just have an overpowering sound of me now, which isn't, you know, what a lot of people want to be listening to on a what day is it today? You know, what day does it go down the line? On an evening, put it that way. I'm just going to scroll this on to 1472. I'm scrolling it the wrong way, I know, but I've got an app edit to do something as well. Again, confirming 2,000 feet is armed. I'm just going to vector us right around to Tetar. And then it was getting there, 147. Ah, that's a good way to do it. And it doesn't give me RSI. Okay, the visibility's just degraded a little bit. I'm just going to check what my visibility stipulations are for this approach. Visibility of 1/2 statute mile. Yeah, we're currently on a 5 mile visibility, just for those of you wondering. I'm dropping off the absolute brick right here. Anyway, I'm now going to arm... Oops, wrong camera. I'm not using the eavesdrop camera today. I'm going to arm that to 130, so when we hit 2,000 feet, we just stand on the brakes, and cell cells right down. We'll have to take spoilers in, which is going to be an issue, I think. Close mode, there we go. What I can actually do is just roll the aircraft out this way. Well, just watch it on the ILS right now. Let's find out if that's approved. Okay, matching invert speed hold, as I say, because I don't mind accelerating slightly as long as we can then stand on the brakes and lose it in a matter of seconds, which we can. And then what I can do is I can arm approach mode, or ILS mode in this aircraft, which will just be on the second we intercept the localizer. I'm just looking out for the aerodrome, but not see it yet.
2,500.
Yeah, we'll just be rolling over 2,000 feet now. This airspeed's going to come thundering back. Speed silent. Localizer capture. So the aircraft is doing its stuff now. Just for remarkable effect it does, doesn't it? Okay, so whoa, right, we're going to start pumping. I'm going to retract all spoiler, which will slow my deceleration significantly.
Slats extended.
Landing gear brake. Landing gear. Speed brake. Landing gear. Landing gear brake.
Flaps 15.
Landing gear. Speed brake. Landing gear. Speed brake.
There we go. There's low fuel level warning. What's our fuel doing?
Gear down. 3
Ah,
green.
okay, we're on localizer now, so we haven't got the gear down. But we are alt captured currently. I'll take another one flat down. About 28. That's our landing flap. So we are fully configured for landing now. Can I hit auto land? Or is that? I've got no
Flaps
auto land.
28.
Autopilot.
Okay. Autopilot on. ILS. Log track. Stop capture. And okay. Alt hold. And ILS. This is our calculated Delta TV ref for this approach because it's a pretty calm wind today, only 8 knots. Yeah, we've got 13% fuel remaining. So it's not a lot of fuel, but we need to land on this approach. Not even that's too much of a worry. So we are pretty much configured for the landing now. Just going to again confirm my VRFs. 28 VRFs actually want 29 knots. But we'll leave the extra knot on just to keep everybody satisfied. ILS mode. Oh my word. Right, auto throttle off, autopilot on, flight director on, ILS mode. VOR lock mode. Okay, heading select. ILS. There we go. That's we'll be stuck onto there. Alright, what we'll do is we'll get to the 5.4 DME mark, which is about our descent point. Am I right in thinking that? Yeah, about 4.5 DME. And then we'll disconnect the autopilot there and just go visual. Because I'm absolutely sick of this. Alright, speed hold. There's the airport, straight ahead of us. So something tells me the visibility is a little bit better than 5 miles. But I'm going to leave the autopilot on, as I say, until about 4.5 DME, which is a mile away now. EPA limit's also going to be go around. And we're on ILS mode. There we go. Low capture, alt hold, and we should be hopefully getting ILS GP capture pretty shortly. That's interesting. Alright, for half a second there they both had different readouts. Also, this can come on now. Cabin crew, please take your seats. Okay, ground stop capture. There we go. So we don't need to disconnect the autopilot now, we can just disconnect it down at 200 feet. I'm going to switch some more noise on. As you can see, we're just managing to drift ever so slightly below the ILS. Oops, breathing into the mic. Sorry folks. I'm just really conscious that at 200 feet we have to disconnect because it's got its decision point. I can see the field from here. The terminal's just over there. We'll just land, reverse, stop pretty soonish. Imagine, because as I say, we're coming in at 130 knots in this thing, which is just crazy slow. I've had a VRAF of 160 in this before. I was pretty full up, yeah, not like. Okay then. 1,000 feet. I'll disconnect at 500. I'll change my mind a bit. I can actually see the field for a change. I think the key is going to be not to destabilise the approach, and then I'm pretty sorted there. Okay, I'm just going to disconnect. Autopilot off. Auto throttle off.
500.
Yeah,
400.
destabilising the throttles immediately. No biggie.
300.
Alright, this is an interesting scenery.
200.
The airport's overgrown.
100.
Slightly right of centre line. Not a particularly amazing landing, but
50.
just
40.
flying onto the runway.
30. 20. 10.
And a jump fly right. Spot line. Come on, get down. And reverse. Full reverse.
2 in reverse.
Brake. $60 knots.
Reverse lights out. 60 knots.
Okay, so we made it. So, ladies and gents, welcome to a rather overgrown Halifax airfield. Okay, so, comes off. Comes off. Comes off. Actually, that comes down in dim mode. Then, transponder. Come off to standby. I'm not doing single engine taxi in. APU to start. I think what we can do is we can just see how this goes. Gate. I want the jetway gate here. I don't press follow me, not required. And we'll get handled by Air Canada, or Airport Terminal Services, because we'll pretend that we're doing our own charter work. Those jitters, that means GSX is spawned now. All those jitters mean good job I've got crash mode off and we can just YOLO it through these trees. Another thing I can do is just mash my flaps up button on my joystick, which I've now mapped because I was kind of getting a bit frustrated of not having one. I say do not ask me how that happens. It's basically when they make the scenery that they make a big movie. It looks like the scenery hasn't actually installed. Yeah. Anyway, folks, we'll just YOLO it through these trees and get into the gate. So, approaching what we discussed in the video 3 days ago now, as being hotspot 1. So we've got permission from the tower across the runway. Yep, we do have that, so cross. Before any of you start shouting in the comment section about how I'm a massive pirate, please don't. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to walk us to the gate because I'm not particularly bothered about dealing with these sorts of situations in FSX. Cockpit, I'm just going to check my APU is actually started and is ready to take power over. Yes, it is. APU pulse on. Oops. This is actually one of the few aircraft where you can do everything from tubing. There we go. I parked a bit too far. You parked a bit too far is what I'm trying to say. That's what you're trying to say. Okay, we'll press T4. Yeah, that's... Right, I'll just very quickly come into here again. Which notes on here is the anti-collision lights and positional strobe. And to operate the jetway. Yeah, jetway doesn't know what it's doing. Function control F5, shift F5. Control F5, there we go. Shift F6, shift F5. Control F6. Control F8. How do I open that door again? Had it open once a while ago. Anyway, guys. So that is it from Jet2Go and the MD-18 Maddog, Leonardo Maddog. For the last flight we'll be doing with it for at least a week or two now, because tomorrow we'll be setting off from here to to Nuuk in Greenland with the Dash 8, because that's the only aircraft I've got which can actually land there. And anyway, actually, let's just see if I can get this door open before we do end. Just so my eyes on close anything else. Alright, close the air stair there. So air stairs. There we go, that's that door open. Still going to have to deplane everybody into a rather chilly, I think it's Nova Scotia that we're in. Afternoon. Okay, folks, so as I say, that is very much it now from me. We'll see you all tomorrow on our adventure to Nuuk in Greenland. See you then, folks. Bye.